So this is a little video I put together to illustrate the RootBlaze support for the Condor import server. So the way I thought I'd do this was go through the architecture at a high level, do a quick demo of the functionality, and then delve a little deeper into how RootBlaze was built to do this. So this use case is a little sample that basically starts with RootBlaze Studio injecting spot deals into an active MQ queue. The functionality is provided by RootBlaze Execution Agent, which has a built-in message broker, and it also contains a runtime container that has our business logic. So in this case, the business logic is going to consume the trade from the active MQ queue. It's going to then pass that to the KIS adapter, which is built around the Java JK API from Finastra, which will then go through Tibco Rendezvous into the actual import server, then into Condor. If all's well, we get a deal ID back, and on successful transaction, that deal along with its deal ID will be sent to replay node to the deal OK queue. So replay node in this case has been used to basically implement a import deal blotter. So there are queues for deal OK, deal failed, and system error. So system error would be, perhaps timeout where connecting to Rendezvous, for example, something low level. Right, so let's take a look at the actual application. So bearing in mind what we just saw, we have the runtime container running on a cloud-based Condor system. So if we look at the ActiveMQ side of things, we've got a connection to this queue, spot send. And looking at the diagram, if we publish a deal here, it's then going to get picked up by the runtime. So let's do that and see what happens. Let's take a sample spot deal, which I have here, and we'll use the tool chain to inject this deal into this ActiveMQ queue. So let's publish that. Okay, so that's gone in. If we now look at our runtime, we can see that the spot send route has fired and sent it to KIS. If we look at the deal blotter, we can see we've got one deal here, and the deal ID is 99. It's a euro-dollar deal. The amount was 12345. That's the date, and that's the spot rate in this deal OK. So that's quite good, so there's no errors so far. If we were to go back here and change the deal, so now let's change some of these numbers, and let's try to transact a deal with a counterparty that we know is not going to exist. So if we publish this now, we wouldn't expect this to work. So if we look at the deal blotter and we refresh this, we can see our second deal, and that's failed. Deal has failed with errors. So let's take a look at that deal. So there's no deal ID in this one because you didn't go in. And if we look at the camel headers, we can see the type reference wasn't found. Unknown reference counterparty AAPL XXX. So that's picked up an error that was generated by the API because the data that we sent it was invalid. The other TAPMET error that gets picked up is a system error. So if we just sent a completely invalid message, if we just remove this, for example, it's not valid XML anymore. So it's impossible that this can be parsed. So if we publish this one, and now we take a look at the deal blotter, This is a system error. It's not even been able to generate this preview because it can't parse the XML. It's not even real XML. And then we've got the original message, and then yeah, doesn't know what to do with it. So that's the deal blotter functionality. Now there's a bunch of things around that you can do. You can search stuff. You can add notes. You can color code things as you're going through. You can filter, so you can say only show me the deals that failed with errors, for example. Let's apply that because these are the deals I want to, I'm going to need to reprocess. So in this case, if I wanted to reprocess this deal, the problem with it was that this counterparty was wrong. So I'm Mr. Operations guy, so I've now fixed the counterparty, and I want to publish this deal back in. So Spot Replay is a target replay node that, if I send things to it, will replay back into the KIS adapter. So I'll get into how that's been set up when we look at the details of how the app was put together. But for now, I'll just publish this as a new trade, and I would have expected that to go in. So if I now show all deals, I can see that this deal went in, was replayed, and it's come back okay, and I've got a deal ID now. So that deal went in. So that's the turnaround. So the workflow is deals coming through ActiveMQ are processed by the application contained in the runtime, sent to the KIS import server. The response that comes back is then analysed, and based on what comes back, the deals are fed into a series of queues, either deal OK or deal with error or system error, or specifically an insert timeout or a connection timeout. I'm then able to look at that deal, analyse the reason that it failed, fix it over here, and then replay that back into KIS itself. Regarding audit and security, I can now look at this and say, show me the audit log. So I can see here, there was a message injection issued for replay node spot replay by me, CTARPy, at this time from this IP address. So there's a full audit trail of who did what, when, and where from.